Hello, hello, citizens and UEMC miners. Rockseeker here, back with Stim to continue this question about LTI ship and LTI glaive, especially. So, yeah, why don't you ask the question again for those people that did not watch the last episode? But if you want, you can also go and watch the previous episode. And so, go ahead.
Okay, Rock, you're in the hot seat. Where we started off, or where we left off last episode, was asking you. You've been talking about wanting to get an LTI glaive or glaive with that lifetime insurance, that oh so important piece of document that comes with it, to make sure that you never lose that value on your ship. Um, is that something that's going to happen for you? Are you pushing for that?
Uh, I'd like to say no. But the truth is that it will happen, even if I have to pay extra for it, which I will have to because it's a rare ship, right? There's not that many. There's about what there's about 1,000 LTI glaive out there. But the big question is all about LTI. But just a quick story about the glaive. When I joined Star Citizen, I joined was in July of 2016, so a bit more than a year ago. And I decided to join, and after that I started playing, and then I got to meet Targaryen. And Tar had a lot of ships, and he showed me the game. We flew around, we did some mission, and at one point we were coming back to Olisar, and there was a site there just lying on the landing pad. So someone left it there. So I says, "Oh, I gotta try that," and I tried the site, and I fell in love with it. But it's like it's $1,000 ship, so no way I was going to spend that much money on a $300 ship that sold on Reddit for $1,000. So, but then I got during the free weeks fly. There was around CitizenCon last a year ago. I'm probably going to do that again this year. There was a you could fly all ships were unlocked for a whole week. I suspect they're gonna do that again this year. And I got to fly the Glaive, and I said, "Oh yeah, that one is much better, stronger. It's a medium fighter instead of a light fighter, and it's quote unquote affordable. And if you can put your hand on one, at the time they were very limited. So, but I was not going to buy a LTI then." And over the holidays, long story short, because it's starting to be long, around Christmas time, when they released 2.6, I overheard that if you played Vandal Swarm, it could unlock the glaive. So I played match team, and I got matched by luck on the second game with an ace at Vandal Swarm, and the guy like finished like 95% of it was him, and me
So
and
he carried you through the whole
so we were
thing.
three of us, and me and the other guy did the leftover 5%. But basically, we zoom in 45 minutes through all the waves, all the way to the end. It unlocks the glaive, and then I got a 48 months glaive. I was so happy. I melted my reclaimer to have the money, and just on the fly like this, and got the glaive. And since then, that's basically almost what I've been flying all the time. So I fly it so much that it would make sense to have an LTI. But now the big question, coming back to our topic of the day, is well, this I took too long for this story. That's amazing. It's already 6 minutes in. But anyway,
That's okay. You've
so
enjoyed it.
we'll just continue in
So,
another
some of our
video
listeners.
right after, and I promise I won't have you wait for 2 days to see the next episode. I'll just post it the next day. But basically, the whole question now, after Nubifier posted that video on global LTI, and suggesting that people should maybe all get LTI. And also thinking about it, we keep hearing from CIG that LTI is just a small perk, that in game it won't matter much. I don't care if I don't have LTI, I only have 3 months on my little ships, like the under $100 ships, but for a $350 rare ship that the parts in game may be hard to come about, I don't know. I don't know. My rational side of me says like you got 48 months. 48 months in game is like what? It's like 10 years. And what if I
Yeah,
have to
because
spend like $5 a month or every couple months to just pay for that damn insurance? But
let me weigh in here. Let me weigh in
yeah,
here,
I
Rock.
don't know.
So it's every that 48 months is actually added up by the gameplay that you have. So it's not you get that, it's not that we go to full release of Star Citizen and then it counts 2 years and then boom, you no longer have LTI. It's actually that game time that you have in the game playing.
Yeah, it's not
So
clear if it's per hour or per day or per minutes. They've
or
been
just that
fuzzy.
ship or how it is. So we don't know the whole stuff. And also time might pass faster in the game. It might not be perfectly set up to Earth hours, right? So we don't really know how that's going to work. But in the end, when I hear about LTI, I think, you know what? I completely agree with you. LTI isn't that important, but I have to have it for all of my ships.
Yeah, you do
And
too, right?
I do.
All
And
of
I
your
think most of
ships.
us have to.
Yeah.
All of my ships have LTI except my starter package. And you know what? If I want to hit the gray market, I can make that happen too. I just haven't gone to that extent for my starter package. So, but I can understand where they're coming from when they talk about how the most expensive part of your ship is going to be those modules that you have, because the ships that we get, they're going to have base modules. Now, that's one benefit to a lot of these variants, like the Wildfire, the Saber Comet, and if we get that Saber Raven and that's a variant as well and not something standalone on its own that's special, then that's going to be something that's special for it as well, because the LTI applies to the guns and everything that came with that variant. So with the stock ships that we're getting, that we have from concept sales, we're probably going to be getting, E, D, C, maybe B class, depending upon what our modules are that came with it. And we've still got, all the way up to A. Plus, there's competition level, which is the top there, versus, industrial, and I don't know what the other levels are. I can't remember them right now. But there's different levels, let alone different grades of those levels. So I think that most ships will end up being more expensive to get the modules back than it would to be actually to get the hull of those ships, especially if you're looking at things like racers and military vessels. They're going to be so much more expensive, those modules. And Elite Dangerous is a game that shows that as well. I mean, you can spend 5, 6, 7 times the amount on your upgrades than you do actually on your base ship.
I fully agree with respect like to racing ship. I mean, these literally the LTI is insignificant because most of your parts will be replaced anyway to boost it, make it faster. You're gonna swap this, swap there, optimize every part. So getting the hull back, you're just basically you have to rebuild everything from. So basically what's going to be important is the insurance that you're going to pay for the parts. For the glaive,
Yeah.
if we come back to this glaive, it's just I'm not going to go and upgrade that glaive. It's just my nice ship that I love flying around because I love the cockpit view. I'm going to spend most of my time in my Orions. I've got 2 of them, so when I lose one I don't have to wait a couple of weeks to get it back, so I'll be able to just go around one and the other. And these are so huge that even the hull will be somewhat significant in terms of insurance. But the glaive, it's an exotic ship. I don't know how much the parts will cost. And one thing that I've been told, we had I'm an STL Youngblood patron, and on one of
Nice.
his patron roundtable, we had a discussion about insurance, and I believe it was on one of his roundtable. Otherwise, it was on his patron private Discord, where we had the discussion about basically insurance, that even if you're inside, let's say I'm mining inside my Orion, my time of insurance on my glaive is ticking too. So basically, once you're in game, the clock ticks on all of your ships. So the more ships you have, the more, even if it's small for one ship, collectively, it makes a difference. And for people like you and I, especially people like you, it makes a difference to have those LTIs. So,
And that's why we need to have LTI on all of our ships, so that it doesn't have this base layer of cost that we've got to maintain for those of us that have significant fleet sizes. And there's some people out there that have huge fleets, and the cost of maintaining those, that base just on the insurance alone, is going to be massive.
and
But
this goes, and we're gonna stop this video here, but we're gonna right now continue on the next one. That's because I talked too much in the beginning about.
should we finish off with what Nubifier
Yeah,
was
well,
getting
we'll
at very
talk
quickly?
about it in the next episode, because I think
Sounds good.
Nubifier raised a big question, and
We should definitely address that.
Yeah, so we'll be right back, and I promise the next video will be posted like right tomorrow, so you won't have to wait too long. See you soon, guys.
See you soon.